Maybe that was a bit of a waste. Spanish proper would be democratic, not non-aligned. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay. Yep, that's fair.
Gardez vos rangs. Aux ordres.
False alarm. Everyone can leave. Except the trucks. Still November 37. I think I might start researching you. Slightly ahead of time, but it's okay. Interwar artillery. Is there another one I can do? That's a 39 as well. Let's get AT just in case. The Panay Incident. American and British gunboats were attacked by Japanese aircraft in separate actions today while evacuating the Western civilians from the front line of the war between Japan and China. Despite being clearly marked as an American vessel, the USS Panay was hit by 2 bombs and sunk, with 3 Americans and 1 Italian killed. As long as the anarchists survive, you can always intervene when Napoleon rules. True. Spain took 14 states. Spanish Directory was annexed. I think this is just going to be an outright Republican win, and a very early one at that. So despite the fact that I was buffing up the car lists, they got slaughtered. Yeah, a bunch of my tanks went over, which the Republicans are now going to get. Well, Wibble. India and Pakistan signed a white peace. Borders maintained. It's going to be interesting to see what the independent dominions do, if anything. Constitutional revision is over, so as soon as Protect the Rights of Man is done, we can bring Napoleon. Yeah. As soon as the others are dead, the anarchists never survive for very long. They just don't have the resources for it. Which is a little bit weird, considering how difficult this area usually is to conquer. But I'm guessing that by... well, as we saw yesterday, they tend to be, like, ludicrously aggressive. What? Anarchist victory? That's wrong. After a long and grueling civil war, Spanish anarchists have finally defeated their Republican and nationalist enemies and secured full control over Spain? Spain? What's going on? Spain? Spain, are you alright? Spain? No, this is a bug. Though isolated pockets of nationalist troops continue to wage a guerrilla war, they may well hamper the formation of peaceful communes in previously nationalist areas. It is unlikely that further coordinated resistance of any significance will materialize. As the various communes focus on rebuilding their war-torn villages, towns, cities and industry, they've elected to remain organised under their wartime regional defence council, apparently in response to increasing hostile rhetoric in various world leaders' reactions to the anarchist victory. This victory cannot be allowed to last. And there it is, the rights of man, done. No head of French royal family nor their heir are allowed on the French soil without express permission. Before we can have the triumphant return to the monarchy, we must dispose of this annoying little obstacle. And now I can't intervene in Spain, which means I can't get my war support up artificially, which means that I can't get partial mobilization early. Although we're not actually that far away from it. The anarchists on the map were only a diversion for the true anarchy going on behind the scenes. They barely even started on their focus tree. That's how quick that civil war was. That was kind of ludicrous. I think I might save the political power. Because war support is going to continue to rise because world tension is going to continue to go up. Although I wonder what the next conflict is going to be. I think I can probably guess. Bangladesh declared war on Pakistan. Oh, it's Bangladesh, not Bengal. Of course, Bengal's the old name. Sending Limburg to non-Nazi Germany. This is going to be awkward. So in my test game, China completely imploded because all of the warlords declared war on each other. In this instance, it doesn't seem to have been as bad, but Japan is definitely making good headway. But remember, Manchukuo is going to be trying to get independence. They've just not started anything yet. Oh, yes they have. They're going down this path. Assertiveness. They are building up their local industry. Independence war is here. And then Puyi becomes the nationalist symbol. The fall of Nanjing, the capital of the Republic of China. Nanjing has been occupied by forces from the Empire of Japan. Despite fierce resistance from the walled city's Chinese defenders, Japanese soldiers managed to capture the Zhongshan Gate and fought their way into the city. I'm hoping that China can survive long enough for Manchukuo to get into the war, because that might actually save China from Japan. Germany lifts the exile of Wilhelm II. The German Empire has lifted the exile of Wilhelm II and has now approached the Netherlands for the return of the old Kaiser. It seems that, despite numerous extradition appeals, the Dutch government to hold him accountable for starting the Great War, the warmonger will return to take the reins of the German Empire. This is an act of war! Rally the British to our side. If war breaks out, we will suffer a civil war due to our disjointed government. That's what I thought. So yeah, disjointed government is definitely something you want to get rid of. Communist supporters will start a civil war. Parti Radical becomes this ruling party. Issue a diplomatic objection. Wilhelm II returns to the German Empire. In a surprise announcement yesterday morning, the German government officially lifted the exile of Wilhelm II. Later in the day, the old Kaiser's motorcade passed the German-Dutch border, and upon his return to Berlin, he was ceremoniously reinstated as the Kaiser of the German Empire. The Kaiser has already vowed to see Germany return to its old greatness, but it remains to be seen which direction the nation will take in regards to its diplomacy. So yes, that is true. Are you going to go anti-Soviet? In fact, I think that anti-Soviet's what you always do. It's just a question whether you go anti-Britain or pro-Britain. Will we be fighting against Germany and Britain again? Or can we divide and conquer? What? Oh, it's 23%. Misread it. March 22nd, 38. You're already going. These aren't. Didn't expect Edward to say no since they're related. Yeah, I didn't think that in this instance Edward would say no. This is definitely a return of the absolute rulers. Okay, the law of exile has been repealed. So that thing that Germany just did, yeah, we're doing the same. Proclaim the Third Empire. The Bonapartists may be considered the outsiders in this struggle for the throne, but they carry with them the dream of a time when all of Europe bowed to the Emperor of the French. Vive la France! Vive la France! France will be known as France. Geez, thanks, game. Yeah, I was kind of expecting like French Empire or something. There definitely seem to be a couple of oversights when it comes to the French focus tree. Like, very minor, very nitpicky. That's one of them. Whether it'll actually change the name or not, I don't know. Might just be the tooltip that's wrong. L'Empire c'est moi. L'État c'est moi. That wasn't Napoleon, though. That was Louis. The name does change if I recall it's a bug in the tooltip. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Are any of the Napoleons still alive? The Napoleons or the Bonapartes? If you mean the Bonapartes, yes. All of the rename focus tooltips are bugs and have been for ages. Fair enough. Mexico took 2 states. The Mexican junta have been annexed. So here we're going to see the rise of the social Catholic state. Have they hired Trotsky? I don't think they can. No. I think only the socialists can. Alright, so how long would this take? 344 days. I think in 1939. We're going to grab that. Concentrated industry in the meantime. That gives us one more upgrade. One more 130. You can hire Trotsky during the exile event, regardless of government. Oh, interesting. Oh, and we also have loads of political power now. Unfortunately, war support is actually going down. But that's not going to stop us getting the good old technocrat. Although I think I'm going to save my political power until the Third Empire is proclaimed. Because then we might be able to get somebody who can give us ticking unaligned. Or use a decision that can get us more unaligned, which will also give us more stability. Yeah, you can have a lot of political power. I mean, one of the things that I would quite like to do would be get the Captain of Industry, because this is infrastructure and civilian factory construction speed. Actually, that might be more useful early on, seeing as I am doing, you know, this. Computing machine. Done. And we are now June 38. I'm going to continue with these so we can keep our military up and running. If Charles Marat is available for the Bonapartists, that's a huge oversight. He does not. Have to be fascist. We could go early for Belgium and the Netherlands. Depending on whether anyone is guaranteeing the Belgians. Nope. I think I'm going to go with the castle again. Because this is the cafe. Right, let's start doing that. Time to get some spies going. I'm just thinking about getting Belgium before anyone else does. That's all. That's true. No, I've got rid of disjointed government. And being at war, I think, removes victors of the Great War. Full employment. We're in the enviable position of having many very low unemployment, partially because of the massive bloodshed of the Great War. However, this has made it difficult for companies to find skilled workers, and the military finds it hard to compete with the labour markets for recruits. Extending the draft would only exacerbate the problem. We should try and find other sources of manpower to make up for the shortfall, either in recruitment or in the economy. There are ways of overcoming that, though. I think. I also want to get inefficient economy reduced. And also cores on this stuff. Rearmament would be nice, and then obviously getting these finished. There's just too much good stuff to get for France now. I know, I love this focus tree because there are just so many choices and they're all solid. It's kind of like the Dutch focus tree. We're just like, ooh, so many little toys to play with. Awesome. That's always going to be the same. So after laissez-faire, we're going to get one tick, and then economic devolution, we're going to get the second. I think I want to get the civilian factories from all of this, because that'll allow my industry just to go through the roof, and would also allow me to go for the research slots. There is that too. Why can't I renew the foreign policy? That's a, yeah, I can't have utilised the leagues. If you go radical, either left or right, you can't review foreign policy. They have their own diplomatic stuff. Review foreign policy is basically the centrist paths. Yeah, we're going to start working on these. And what's the plot? Still too low. Oh, you're a Soviet puppet now. Hold on. Are you opposing the communists already? You are. Interesting. Napoleon VI claims the throne of France. In a ceremony in Paris, Napoleon VI has officially been proclaimed the Emperor of the French. His rise is widely considered a direct result of the inability of the Third Republic to provide political stability in an environment of an increasingly defined by violent clashes between those on the extreme ends of the political spectrum. He now faces the difficult task of rebuilding and reuniting a deeply divided country, with many observers pointing to the role the far-right leagues played in his ascent to power as a sign of the Emperor of the French is in fact merely a ruler by the grace of his right-wing mob. And we are now the French Empire! Can Napoleonist France even do foreign policy? Yeah. They can... Oh. They can... create their own faction. The anti-fascist bloc. Long live the Emperor. Vive la France. Vive l'Empereur. And we're down to just 2,000 shortage in guns now. Down from what, 19,000 or something absurd like that? Do we have the Foreign Legion? No, not yet. Oh, right. The other thing we can do is the anti-fascist or anti-democratic raids. Or just straight up press censorship. It's expensive, though. Wait, what are these? The country is taken under protection to serve only the best and the most equitable governance. Destabilizing influences from alien ideologies must be curtailed. Oh, right, this is the other part of the espionage. As a unaligned, if we conquer someone, we can make them collaborate with us. Which means that they're going to be more stable, less resistance. Long live Emperor Billy. We're not Germany. And there it is, Café René. Complete. Let's get passive sonar so we can upgrade our destroyers. Greater Portugal declared war on Portugal. Another civil war. Right, this is the Portuguese civil war for the monarchists. And then there's going to be a war in Brazil as well after that. Napoleon has a nice ring to it. So we've got Dom Duarte Nuno, the constitutional monarch, who just gives straight up weekly stability and political power gain. He's really good. That's got to be one of the most powerful monarch bonuses. Because those are permanent. You just keep on getting that stability and you just keep on getting that power gain. And he's up against Francisco de Barcelos Raul Preto, who gives war support. And unlike this being a weekly war support, that's just +5 war support. Except Portugal has 0 stability right now. Yes, I remember from Shenria's game that they have stability issues. Okay, we can have an operative. So we can have Giselle Vaillant. Infiltration, effectiveness, risk, and detection. Or a demolitions expert for sabotage. And strength and resistance. Ginny Rousseau is the linguist. Yeah, I think Vaillant's going to be the most powerful then. Probably after that we'll go for Rousseau. Okay, so who should we start spying on, Spain? Alright. Let's keep scrolling. Got there eventually. Invest in Algeria and France and then do the industrial expansion. Europe is facing dangerous times. We should focus on improving our land to the south and ensure that we can always support the mainland. Is it better to spy on Brussels if you're going to invade them? Yes. Probably. So here's the next question. Are we just going to puppet everything? Or are we going to claim some stuff for our own? Like Belgium, I could say we probably do have a legitimate claim on. We probably could annex it. Same with Switzerland. Or we could take the Wallonian part and then puppet Flanders. How should we do this? The Fourth Internationale. A number of communist delegates from around the world met in... No, not in Paris today, for a founding conference laying the groundwork for what will be known as the Fourth Internationale. Calls for its formation have existed for years, with supporters of Trotsky's theories taking the lead. Somebody let filthy communists in! They should be shot! Puppet everything. Napoleon's sister republics, his little pet name for his puppets. Claim South Belgium, puppet the North. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Concentrated industry. Done. Still 38. We can't do any more industries because we have just one more of those buffs, and I really do want to grab that. 38. Is there anything else? I mean, we could start working on naval doctrines. Air doctrines. Let's get a couple of naval things going, because we're going to be fighting at sea at some point.
Attention.
You guys never did finish training. But you did finish getting all of your equipment, which is good.
Gardez vos rangs.